I'm Jackie and we are enjoying life's journey while on the path to financial freedom. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to another monthly budget planning with me video. We're going to be planning out our cash flow plan or our zero-based budget for the month of April. I can't believe the first quarter of the year is already over. If you've been following the channel with our net worth progress reports and our budget reports, you can see that we've made quite a bit of progress the first quarter of the year, so we're super excited about that. So we're gonna, hope for the same, if not better, for the second quarter of the year. But either way, let's jump onto my Excel sheet and we're gonna plan out for April. So I've already plugged in up here our paydays. So my husband gets paid every Friday, so we do basically a unique budget for every single paycheck as well, not just for the month, but today we're just going to do the month. So if you want, join me every single Friday while we do out the week. So again, we're doing April. I have added a new percent total column over here, so I can kind of keep track healthy percent range for that item. So to start off with, my husband's base pay, he makes $18.50 per hour. His base hours are 40 hours a week, and then they've been doing quite a bit of overtime in the last part of March into part of April. Basically, they're doing one full month of working every single day. Basically, Monday through Saturday are 10-hour days, and then they've been doing 8 hours on Sunday. So they've worked every single day. This is my husband's fourth weekend where they'll be working that, so that's what we're going to kind of see for his overtime. And the overtime is basically time and a half, so it's about $27.75 per hour. And then this is for myself. I'm just going to put self-employment. I have a few sources of income. Also, I've had a few people who are interested in my self-employment budget, how I do that, so I will be filming those. I'll be putting those out once a month. They'll be called my self-employment income expense reports. I am going to do the back months, so I'll be releasing January, February, and March coming up through the rest of this month, and then we'll progress into just a monthly update. So if you guys are interested in that, please stay tuned for those. All right, so my husband's base pay for the month, basically in April with him getting paid on Fridays, that's 4 Fridays in the month. I have an extra column here because sometimes we have 5 Fridays. So his base pay should be $29.60, and usually that's $7.40 per week before taxes. So if you notice here, I had some numbers automatically populate right here. So that's something I'm playing around with formulas. So you can see here it automatically plugged in 8% before taxes into my husband's 401k. So at the beginning of the year, we bumped up his 401k. We were investing 5%, and we've increased it by 1% each month. By the end of the year, we'll be investing 15% of his income, 15% of mine. We've been putting in a savings account, and then we're putting it towards real estate investing. So I'll talk to you more about that. So for my husband, for the overtime for April, he's looking at, this is just an estimate of what he will most likely be getting for overtime. Again, it could change. It could be less, maybe they end up working only 8 hours one day instead of 10 hours, or maybe then it could be more because maybe they decide to continue with Sundays. We don't know. So I'm estimating it based on him doing one more Sunday and then getting rid of Sundays but keeping Saturdays. And myself, I'm looking at 509.92. This is automatically putting the 8% of my husband's two pays, and then the 15% of mine is right here. So that's plugged in for us automatically, which is cool that I'm doing that. We will get cash back and interest. I never budget for those because we don't know exactly how much we get, and ultimately those just end up going into our emergency fund. We're not getting any bonuses for April, so we're going to leave that blank. And let's see. So we're going to come down to the taxes we're estimating. So I've had some people ask why I keep track of taxes. Honestly, because of my husband's overtime, because his paycheck fluctuates all the time, I can't just know, like, okay, his take-home pay is this much. If he got paid a set amount every single paycheck, and they took out the same amount for taxes every single paycheck, then I could say, okay, this is his take-home pay. But because it fluctuates so much, for me to budget ahead of time without seeing the actual number, I do just do the income before taxes, and then I kind of just rough estimate what the taxes are going to be based on the previous month. So I can go week by week and say, okay, this week he's expecting to make the same amount that he made this other week, and I can look at the numbers, and that's kind of how I'm estimating it out. The other reason is I want to see where every penny of ours is actually going. I want to see, if we withhold a different amount with his employer, how much is that going to affect us monthly? What are we going to owe or get back at the end of the year? I'm just things that I want to be know that we want to know in our things. So 204.34. Again, these are estimates. Arizona State 97.85. Medicare 84.77, and then Social Security 362.24. Okay. Now the emergency fund, we're doing 10% minimum automatically out of every single paycheck into the emergency fund. So that's just the minimum. So we have our 10% minimum out of our total combined income here. Now we're going to go through and budget out the rest of the month, and then whatever we have left, we will add in addition to that 10%. So our dream fund, we're not putting anything in there right now. The dream fund consists of future vacations, future car replacements, maybe projects to do around the house. We're not adding anything right there. My husband, we're just doing $100. He's been spending more than $100, but we always start at $100, and we can kind of go from there. The girls, we're not putting anything for the girls. For giving, we're just doing $100 for the month. Easter, so we will probably use part of this money for, Easter for the girls, and then whatever's left will go into the savings account. So this section up here is kind of like paying ourselves first and taxes. Another reason I started keeping track of taxes is because my husband's 401k, that percentage comes out of his check before taxes. So I kind of need to know what that before tax number is to know how much are we actually investing. Same thing, like our savings percent, like I want that to come out of, I want to be saving that percentage out of the before tax amount, right? Not the after tax amount. That way we have more leverage that way. Now we're going to come down to our necessities. Is $22.36. My husband's long-term disability. So our base mortgage is our mortgage payment, which includes our principal, our interest, our private mortgage insurance, and our homeowner's insurance plus property tax is $1,128.98 a month. About $60 of that is the private mortgage insurance. So once we get paid off enough into the mortgage, that amount would eventually come off. We are making one extra principal payment of $185. This is going to be the minimum amount that we're going to place towards this. Up here, my savings is ultimately for real estate. So what we've decided is, instead of originally we were kind of saving it up and we were going to open a Fundrise account, I decided that my 15% is going straight to the mortgage. So last month I was actually able to pay an extra $200 towards the mortgage, which was good. So this 76 ultimately will probably be combined with the 185. The other thing that we're doing is every single month, this base number we're increasing by $5. So last month we did 180. This month we're doing 185. Next month we'll do 190. Home maintenance. Don't have anything for home maintenance. Groceries, we're doing $360. So groceries and eating out, we're trying something a little different this time. Before we were doing groceries, we were just saying $12 a day, 7 days a week, and then however many Fridays we had. If we had 4 Fridays, it would be $336. If we had 5 Fridays, it was $420. That's what we were doing. But then we noticed our eating out budget started going up quite a bit as well. And then last month we did try Plated, one of those home meal kit delivery services. I really did like it. We had a discount for the first couple orders, so now when it gets into the actual amount, I'm not sure if we're going to stick with it for the full month. Maybe we'll do 1 or 2 weeks a month. I really don't know. We're just playing around with it. But overall, our food budget, we are kind of changing that up now. So a lot of other financial people will say that, we spend like a reasonable amount of money on groceries or on food in general for your family is about 10 to 15% of your income. So I figured, 10% of our income will be counted towards food. So we're going to put part of that towards groceries and part of that towards eating out, just because we have to be realistic of what our actual spending is. We have, scrimped and scraped and lived off of nothing, beans and rice and beans for so many years to get out of debt and to finally get to the stage where we're at, where this is one of those things where I'm finally like, enough is enough. I want to have more flexibility with eating. That's just something, you know, that's something I want to change. So by looking at our patterns of how much we're actually spending, I've decided to increase our budget for food and counting them kind of together. And then by looking at our percents here, by keeping track on the side here, I can know, okay, are we staying within that 10% amount? And again, watch last month's budget report card video, because I'll show you how we're calculating that also. Personal care, we're going to do $100, and we're going to do $200 for the household. We do have our cruise coming up in May. So the personal care, this might include if we need to get any last minute things for the cruise, as far as if we want to get outfits, or I know the girls, I need to get them new water shoes, things like that. So we're going to start kind of planning for that. My husband's cell phone is $35. I had someone ask about internet and cable. We do not have cable. My internet is covered through my self-employment. My cell phone is covered through my self-employment. So I will share, you guys keep an eye out for the self-employment income expense report, and you can see what am I able to use as write-offs for my self-employment and all of that. How am I covering taxes, everything like that. Electricity, we're going to do $70 like last time. We're transitioning into summer now, so we're not using the heater, but we haven't turned on the air conditioner yet, so we're still kind of just in this stage. Once summer comes, though, this is going to be increased to almost like 180 maybe. Water, sewer, trash, we're going to do $72 as well. Same as last month. Car gas, we usually do about $100. And then we have our car insurance. This is a set amount. This is $125.63. Car maintenance replacement, I don't have anything this month. Now, we did end up having quite a bit of work done on the car last month, so go ahead and take a look last month and see. We don't have registration coming up. Motorcycle gas, we're going to say $60. Motorcycle insurance. So again, we paid for the entire year, so now we're just putting this $18.91 into our savings account so that when the next year comes, we can pay the full amount. And basically what this has done is this has lowered our monthly payment by $3. When our car I believe will renew in June, so I'm going to be talking to my insurance company, possibly changing some of our coverage, and then see if what kind of discount we can get if we pay for, 6 months or a year at a time. So we'll see. The girls' commission job's going to be 32 and 16, so they can earn their age every single week. So I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. And then down to our fun. So we are going to increase the eating out to $240. So what I've noticed is the pattern this year is we've spent about $250 every single month eating out. This is a combination of fast food restaurants and sit-down restaurants with tip. So that's just kind of, we've been eating at a sit-down restaurant more often. We were not eating at any sit-down restaurants for a very long time. Now, we've been tending to go to Applebee's. Wednesdays have kids eat free, so that's really nice. We usually do the 2 for $20 meal, and then the kids get a free kids meal. So that's always good. And then my husband's been eating off of the food truck at work, maybe a few times a week as well. So we decided just to go ahead and increase that. This I had festival because last month we did something different, but normally this would be movies. This would be movies or an event, whatever it is that we decide to do. We're doing $50 a month for that. Date night, we're actually just going to do $100. Our YMCA membership is $60 a month. Again, we're not adding anything to vacation. I may, if I decide to purchase anything for the cruise now, then I would transfer the money from savings and I would do that. But otherwise, for now, let's blank. And then Netflix is $9.83. They did raise it slightly. So I still have $1,219.41 that I can tell where to go, right? Because we're telling every dollar where to go. So this is going right into the emergency fund. Like I said, we're starting with 10% minimum, and then whatever's left is going in there. So we're going to go ahead and subtract that out. I'm going to come down and see what the total is. So it's $18.55. Beautiful. Now if we can stick to the budget, that will be great. usually what we're finding what's happening is, like I said, originally we were eating more, we were spending more grocery wise and eating out wise. So I've increased both of those budgets right off the bat, so that should be good. The few areas I could foresee us spending more would be my husband's money, and anything related to the house, because we are still gradually adding things to the house. Leave me a comment below if you've planned out April yet. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.